Yo, welcome to Containing Luxury. As promised, we're actually going to be walking through one of my construction sites today. So let's get in there and get started. But forewarning, it may be loud. So we're at one of our construction sites and we wanted to show you, so this is drywall onto the wood framing. So in our previous drywall installation video, we only showed about how to install the drywall onto a metal stud. In this case, this would be your alternative. This is also 5/8 drywall, which is a little bit thicker than the other one. But when we have a wood stud like this, we're using that coarse thread screw. So on our previous video, we've got the comparison of the fine thread screw versus the coarse thread screw. We want to use that coarse thread screw when going into wood. So the fine into metal, coarse into wood. And that virtually goes for just about everything. When we're putting cabinets in, when we're putting in, well actually if you're putting cabinets in, a lot of time, we'll actually put in a little piece of plywood and then hang the drywall up to it. So if we know like all of our upper cabinets are gonna be mounted to X height, we can actually take a piece of plywood that's the same thickness as our drywall and screw it in a rip across the whole top. So we've got tons of places to screw our cabinets to. And you can do the same thing on the bottom. A lot of time we're really not too concerned with our bottoms because they're shimmed, they're sitting on the floor, and then they're screwed together through the tops of the boxes, and then they're screwed into tons of stud spacing. So, but the uppers, you might have a layout that just barely misses or only catches, one stud. So having that plywood up there is really gonna make that a lot easier. But back to the drywall and away from my ADD is coarse thread screws through your drywall into your wood frame studs. So you can use these wood frame studs in your container. It's no problem, a lot of people do that. We just went with the 1 5/8 studs for our build. They're a little bit, definitely a lot less weight. And for us was actually just cheap, faster. So we're really quick with just snips and snapping them and getting them installed a little bit quicker. And we weren't too concerned with the structural integrity of not having a wood frame in there because we didn't cut out that much of our container. But if you were cutting out big sections of walls, you might want to consider using 2x4 wood framing because this actually can be load bearing, whereas those thin 1 5/8 studs we used would not be load bearing. Okay, so we got some of our drywall. We kind of showed you about the drywall hanging. Now we've got some finishing going on in here. The audio's forewarning gonna be horrible. I don't even know if you could hear that. But we've got one of our finishers kind of skim coating out the wall. There was some texture on some of these walls, and where we have the new drywall, we're not gonna have any texture. So rather than necessarily hanging the new drywall, taping it, blending it, and then spraying texture on the new walls, this client wants to go with a smooth wall. So we're hanging, taping the new drywall just to smooth, and then he's going back and actually floating out the old drywall that had texture on it. So you can kind of see he applies a lot of compound all over the whole wall before trying to get it nice and smooth. So the first thing he's doing is going and just getting a thick coat over the whole thing, and then going back, constantly cleaning that knife, dragging it down the whole wall, clean it, drag it up the whole wall, clean it, drag it down the whole wall, clean it. And you gotta clean every single time in between. Big mishap that beginners in drywall make is applying too much mud and not pulling it off. So you wanna drag that tape knife nice and tight and pull off all the compound. So that blade should be dragging against the wall, almost like a 45-degree angle to pull off all that compound. You don't want to leave it heavy and have to sand. I would much rather tape 3 coats and not have to sand at all and have to add compound than I would to have a lot of compound on the wall and then have to go and sand off a ton of it. Because what you're going to get stuck with is a bunch of this on the surface because you're going to be sanding in one area trying to get it smooth, and now you just created a little hole in that area. Okay, so just to first acknowledge, The audio is probably horrible right now because I'm in an echo box. This was the only place I could find on my construction site that we were gonna be able to show you like a new drywall, what the different steps would be. So we kind of showed you before, when you have the drywall, there's like a seam right here. So that seam, the first thing we do is we'd install the fiber tape, or here's a roll of paper tape. If you're using paper tape, which I don't recommend doing this if you're a beginner, the paper tape, you'd have the raw drywall seam here, and you take your mud pan and you put mud down the whole seam and then kind of flatten it out a little bit. And then you'd stick your paper tape into that seam and it would get stuck to it. And as I stick it in, I'm taking my mud knife and I'd kind of fan it over it. So I put a thin layer of mud right over it and it would end up looking like that, taped into the wall. Okay, now I just gotta get that generally smooth. I'm not worried about filling it completely because as the mud dries, it's gonna shrink a little bit. And I'm fine with that because with drywall, it's pretty much always gonna be a minimum of 3 coats. Good drywallers might do 2 coats and then spray texture. But if you're looking for like, it's called a level 4 finish, then, which is like a smooth finish with some minor imperfections here and there, then most of the time it's going to be 3 full coats with maybe some touch up at the end. But essentially how that's gonna go is with paper tape, you're gonna put mud into that seam, you're gonna set your paper tape in that seam, and then get it nice and flat across it, taking your taping knife with a 6-inch knife. I should have just grabbed all these tools when I explained this, but you're gonna get the idea. So then once that dries up, I'm going to go and take a little bit bigger of a knife, like maybe a 10-inch knife. And I'm gonna take that, and hopefully if I did this nice and smooth on that first coat, we're only talking about like that much mud on that first coat. So I can just take my mud knife. I don't wanna have to sand after my first coat. That's the key of not putting too much mud. So I wanna just maybe knock off any ridges, just scraping my flat blade across the dry wall. I can take that and I can knock off any of these imperfections. I'll just scrape it off and now it's hopefully flat. Now with the next coat, I'm gonna take my 10-inch knife and I'm gonna take my mud and I'm gonna put it across the whole seam, all the way across the whole thing. I don't care about making it smooth right away. First thing I wanna do is make sure I got mud across my whole section of wall so that now I can take my mud knife, clean it completely, and tape across the top, pull it tight across the wall at the bottom, and then take it and go nice and smooth across here. So this is pretty much our drywall company. This is where they're at 2 coats right now. So they've done no sanding. No sanding is gonna happen. This is 2 coats because you can also see here on the nail holes. Okay, so that's a seam. Now for nail holes, we're gonna show you another really easy way. Your nail holes you're gonna do when you're doing your first coat. But you can kind of see here that it's really faint right here. That was his first coat. His second coat, you can see, is just a little bit thicker. But what he's doing is he just takes his mud knife, he's gonna slap it on all the drywall holes. Then he's gonna take in one with a nice clean knife, he's just gonna pull it tight down the whole wall, dragging the blade right flat down the wall, okay? You're gonna see that these little dimples where the drywall screws are, you might have pulled a little bit of the mud out, or you might see it's got like a little recess in it. That's fine, leave it. Let it dry, let it cure all the way. Because you're gonna come back and you're gonna slap a little bit more mud on every one of them, and you're gonna clean your knife, and then you're gonna pull it tight down the whole thing. And that's where they're at now. But there's still a little imperfection in them, but that's fine. I can always have less mud and easily, really quickly, take my knife, slap some on, pull it tight. It's way more work to go and sand off huge globs of mud. Do more coats with less mud. It's gonna make your life a lot easier, it's faster, and it's gonna look better because the whole theory is, if you have a nice big flat blade and this section is recessed, then I'm pulling it, dragging it flat against my surface so that this part just now got filled in. But essentially, That's the whole deal with drywall for, you know, beginners. So there's gonna be guys on this channel that are like, oh, I got a drywall company, and there's a tool that you can have that puts on your paper tape, and it will put mud on the paper tape while you're putting it on. So you literally just have, it's called like a banjo or a box, and you can walk and put the paper tape on. But I've been doing drywall, I'm a general contractor. I'm good at drywall, I don't enjoy it. It takes me a lot of time. So I use fiber tape. I prefer fiber tape. The fiber tape is going to eliminate that whole step of having to put mud on and then embed your tape, your paper tape, and then pull it all off. Now, where you can't get away from using paper tape, is in your 90-degree corners. So your inside corners, you're gonna have to do it exactly how I said the first time when using paper tape. So you're gonna have to put mud all down this seam, you know, and try and get it somewhat flat, but make sure you leave a decent amount of mud on there. And then this tape actually comes with a crease already formed in it. So what I would do then is once this mud is here, it's gonna stick to that, and I'm gonna try and get that little crease, that corner, right into that wall. And I'm gonna run it down like this, and it's gonna stick in there because there's some mud sitting there. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with my knife. As it's stuck here, I'm gonna take my knife and put a little bit of mud there and pull it off in the corner. That paper is gonna create your 90-degree corner. You can't use fiber tape on your corner seams. You can use fiber tape on your flat seams, and that for me is faster. Some of these guys are really good at drywall. They use paper tape on everything because that's just the way they do it. They have years and years of experience. For me, I use fiber tape on my flat seams, paper tape in all my inside corners, and then we use metal corner bead on our outside corners. And this might be the case for you guys, it might not be, but I think outside corners are super easy, a lot less difficult than the inside because the inside really takes some finesse to work with the paper. The outside has, you can see down here, try and break this off, but you can kind of see that's got that piece of metal corner bead here. So that metal can either be stapled to the drywall, screwed, or some guys even just tack it with drywall nails. I've even seen guys, I don't recommend this, but where they just put mud in the corner bead and they stick it to the wall. If there's something that they gotta try and like float out a little bit, if the wall's not perfect, or even putting a corner bead over a corner bead, if they're trying to cheat something because the framing's off a little bit, they'll embed the corner bead in mud and try and level the wall out a little bit, and then do what we showed you previously on floating that wall out where you got a bad part. But essentially all of these things are gonna be, first coat is not gonna look great, doesn't matter. Don't worry about your first coat looking great. It's all about just getting it installed and holding it. So, you know, that paper tape, the fiber tape, first coat's just filling that little recessed joint and holding it nice and tight in there. Then we're gonna make it look nice on our second coat. And then third coat, we're using possibly even a little bit bigger of a taping knife. Again, this is now like, we're using it, we're cleaning it every single time, and we're floating it, pulling everything off the wall, nice and tight. So, I mean, you could essentially, I could take this section here and just take my flat blade, scrape off those parts. I'm not gonna sand them off because that will take me a lot more time. I'm gonna take my flat knife, I'm gonna scrape them off. Okay, then I'm gonna take my drywall sanding sponge. I could use this as a finished coat. This second coat is technically ready to be made into a finished coat. But they can make it even nicer and even less sanding on the third coat. And then once you get to that sanding, you're gonna start on your outside and you're gonna blend this part first, just real lightly until it's see-through. And then slowly work your way in a little bit. You know, and try and go in circular motions, and then you can detail those spots that you gotta kind of blend a little bit better along that outside. And then as soon as I get into here, I shouldn't have to do much at all. Just a quick across it. So, and then that's done, you know. Then we would prime all of our walls. mark out with a pencil. Don't use pen or a marker, but a pencil. We'd go through and we'd mark out any little imperfections. Don't go crazy with this. You're gonna drive yourself insane. So, because the roller finish, when you roll out the walls, it will hide some of the real minor stuff. But you know, you can mark out like, okay, mark a little dimple there, a little thing here, and then just use that lightweight compound and go through with just a 6-inch putty knife and just hit your spots, you know, that you want to just do your little touch-ups. And if you pull them tight enough, there should be almost no sanding. But you just want to remember where they are, grab your sanding sponge, go back 15 minutes later, and just real light. You know, just knock off the edges and that's good to go. So you can kind of see how we get into some of the drywall finishing. If you want a little bit more detail onto the drywall installation process, we do have a previous video. There's gonna be a link maybe at the end of this video too. So you can click on that one. That will kind of go over a lot of the actual installation of the drywall. In that video, we installed it onto a metal stud. So now you've kind of seen how we install it onto a wood stud, the different fastener that we use, and we referenced that in the previous video. Now hopefully you get an idea of how the finishing works. Anyway, I gotta get back to work, guys. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe. You guys gotta get out of here and I gotta go to work. Take it easy.